Hello everyone. Welcome back. I am back from my very long break, and as you guys saw, we are doing a little, I'll call her a vampire. It's something that I've been, uh, developing, which is technically how I would draw my vampires in their eyes. So, if you guys are new here, I am Becca. I welcome all of you, or welcome back. This drawing, as you guys can see, I was practically just doing some sketches in my sketchbook, and I have a couple of like fuller illustrations that I made, but I decided to take a little step back, mostly because I like making these full illustrations are kind of a lot of work, and I didn't really have like the time, or just mostly not even in comparison like to time, just like the mindset at the moment to work on such huge illustrations, especially since I was burned out and I did need quite a break, which I took, and I am actually on track and I'm actually pretty happy. And yay, we have videos for the channel. Woo! Um, but even though I wanted to do something a little bit different, I have a couple of vampires that I've done, and especially one that I really like, which is kind of. I'm gonna put her picture up here. I hope I remember whilst I finish editing this video. But this is the one where she is like literally drinking from a little blood bank, a little blood sack, and I really like the way that I kind of did the whole thing without the irises. And I had another one that I did a while, like years ago, that had like I colored her eyes as well, like that, just like a little darker tone, but without the little apple in the middle, like the little black part of your eye. I decided to keep that when I did this one as well. And if you guys can see, I'm actually doing a little bit more. I'm literally showing you guys a little bit more of my process, mostly because I want you guys to be able to see a little bit more of what I do, not just really fast renditions of me just like doing line art or figuring stuff out or whatever. Especially for this one, I kind of did that. Like, I do have some videos planned. Oh, spoiler, I have videos planned. Oh, where I also kind of show how I fix a couple of images, how I change some things from like the basic sketch layer that I do, because not all of my illustrations, like this one, I needed to change a lot of things. But when I do, I kind of don't want to just go into the line art and just fixing it through the line art. I wanted to do something a little bit more different than that. So I took a different approach with another illustration, which you guys will see eventually here on the channel. It's done, it's recorded. So we don't have to worry about that. But I did want to take a step back from doing all those huge illustrations and just like sit back and do something that I really like doing, which was basically was portraits. I really wanted to do a little bit of a portrait, or just like until like a little bust, maybe, like a portrait, like just mostly like that, and just have some fun with the illustration. I did get inspired by this illustration mostly because I am currently in a drafting phase of a book that I'm writing, and it is about vampires. And I really liked the style of this illustration, and I was like, oh, okay, so if this was my character, what would she be wearing? How would she be wearing it? And would she actually end up looking like this? And I really liked it, and I really went with the whole flow of it, mostly because like her parents are polar opposites. Like her dad is described as like being someone that's like really light skinned, like, and her mother is like described as having like her skin's like as dark as the night, and like she's just in between that they're dynamic, like she's very in between that. And yeah, both definitely vampires as well. And but I have like a different kind of rule set for my vampires on this one, even though I do play Vampire Masquerade. I do, because since it is something that I'm making, I do take liberty to change things that I would want to do differently, and I did do it with this, especially with the fact that her mother was actually like the the vampire in the family, and then years later, like after they had her, then like her mother turned her father, and it was like a very sweet, wholesome relationship with both of them. There is a lot of backstory, like a lot of backstory with her parents and especially her, and I wanted to bring that out because I wanted her to mostly resemble kind of like, since I did this like whole Miss Mashy thing of her mom like representing like a dark, like the dark, and her dad being like representing like the daytime kind of thing. I wanted her to be like right in the middle, like she's like maybe the afternoon or almost beginning to evening kind of mash up with it. And that's technically how I went with this one. It was a bit hard because at first I was not happy with her skin tone. I do have this thing where I have like a billion colors for skin tone, and for some reason I always end up choosing the colors that I use for using as like shadow, and I don't end up liking it because I normally only use that for like the shadows for the color of my characters. And there's also this dynamic that she has where she's not, her and her mom aren't like in good terms at the moment, and I literally have a scene where the main character just goes and says that, you know, like she dyed her hair like orange. Well, it's not supposed to be orange. It's just like normal redheads, but a very orangey tone to it. Just out of spite, like she looks gorgeous with it, but she just did it just to piss off her mother. And which is funny because I kind of think that it there is that whole dynamic, not only because of like age, but because my vampires have a lot of, they have a lot of rules in general, and especially because she is also technically half human and half vampire. There is a logic for that, and it makes sense. And whenever I finish the book and it's out, I will tell all of you. But you guys will get to read it, and you'll understand what I mean. But until then, and pray that I decide to make this a standalone, or at least a duology. I don't want to write another series. I already have like 2 series that I need to write. I don't need another one. Well, actually 3. 3? Abigail. Oh no. Then Sabrina. Oh wait, no. I make that 4. I have 4 series to write. I don't want another series. I'm trying to write standalones only now. But pray that this is at least a duology. And I wanted her to emphasize a little scene that I had in my head where she is confronted by another vampire, but this other vampire is actually like full on vampires. Like she doesn't have a bit of human in her. She's like literally full born vampire, and she does this vampire that's like not like her because because the main male character is her love interest. Duh. And she's just like having a very hard time dealing with that. And like my main character, she's just looking at her like, uh-huh. Okay, take it down a notch. It's not that serious kind of moment. And I kind of since there's a whole dynamic between like the laws and hierarchy between like in the vampire world, I needed to get that properly done as well in my book. So technically what I ended up doing was very different from what I was going to do in the beginning, but I still made my character very. Her name is Crystal, by the way. I haven't said her name throughout this entire video. I don't know why, but anyway, her name is Crystal, but with a K. It's not with a, let's see, with a K, and she's very like strong-minded. She's very smart, but like she knows that when it comes to vampire law and vampire rules and everything, they are very bound by being extremely polite, and like etiquette is everything. So the male main character is known to be crazy. He I'm not spoiling it, but you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it. You're just gonna have to wait and see. And her knowing that, it's kind of funny because he can read minds and nobody knows that. So you guys can know this one. He can read minds and nobody knows that. So while she's being like super polite and, you know, just like making sure she's not getting on this guy's bad side, he is reading every single thought she has. And every time I have to write a dynamic where he's reading her thoughts, it's just hilarious because like she's just looking at this guy losing control and getting angry over nothing while she's just like swearing him off like every 2 seconds. And I really wanted the dynamic, and there's other things that also are gonna happen that's gonna be pretty fun, and I'm actually pretty excited about that. So yeah, you guys get to know a little bit more about how this is gonna go. And I actually came up with this story like a few years ago. Well, yeah, it was a few years ago. It was like 2015 maybe. And I changed a lot because the main male character was actually going to be the villain. He was literally going to be an antagonist, but I decided that I didn't want him to be the antagonist because I saw potential in both him and Crystal, and I was like, yeah, no, this is not going to happen. So technically what I ended up doing was the main character from the original plot idea kind of became a romantic partner for somebody else in another story, and I just decided to keep like him and Crystal together because I love their dynamic and I thought it was like really cute, and I just loved how they worked well together, and also the flow and the idea that I had because I am writing as well at the same time. Another story that also involves the main character's brother, where the main character's brother and his wife is it's their story, like his brother and his wife's story. And since I was writing the outline for how I wanted this to go, I kind of realized that I can't really start backwards. I need to build up to how they get to where they are. And that's why I said I hope this is a standalone, but I'll probably end up making it a duology. I'm sorry, I can't. But yeah, it's fun. I'm actually I feel less stressed drawing. I feel pretty fun doing this, especially just working on smaller illustrations has been like a breath for me. And I think I was taking things a little bit too seriously. I was gulping everybody else's energy and not kind of focusing on me. So I hope you guys enjoy like this funsy little talk time. I will probably be talking about like more about other characters or just like illustration steps of my stories and how I'm rendering, because I do intend on making my cover for my debut novel. So I will probably be showing it to you guys here or like snippets on Patreon whenever I finally get the draft of that cover out. But yeah, I will let you guys know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was pretty fun to do again, and let's remember to take care of ourselves. And I will see you guys next week because there's a video recorded already. And I love you all. Have a great day, week, month, year. You know what? Whenever you're watching this, just shine bright. Be awesome, guys. Love y'all. Bye-bye.